I went to see my friend's comedy show downtown at the Broadway bar. I rode my bicycle down there. And, you know, normally I'm careful when I go downtown on my bike, but it was a quiet night and the bike rack was right under a bright street light. And there was a bouncer for the bar standing within view of my bike. So I thought it'll be fine for a few minutes. I parked my bike at the bike rack, went inside, saw my friend's comedy show, came out. It was like 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night, and the street was empty. There was no one there, except for there's one guy at his bike, at the bike rack. So I'm looking to get on my bike, and I realize, wait a minute, I don't see my bike. I just see that guy, and oh my God, he's at my bike, and he's taking it apart. This guy had unscrewed my bike seat. He was holding them up in one arm, and then he was going through the bag on my bike. He had taken out my exercise bands, thrown them on the sidewalk. He was looking past my library books, past my book full of stories for something valuable, although the stories are very valuable. And I was filled with rage and shock, and also I was very, very, very excited, a little turned on, got a little bit of an erection, because I had been waiting for this moment for 12 years. Ever since moving to LA and riding a bicycle, I had had 3 bicycles, 3 seats, 2 lights, a pump, and a front tire all stolen. And each time a piece of my property is stolen, a piece of me goes with it. I get a little more bitter, a little more angry, a little more determined that one day, if I only caught one of these bastards taking my stuff, I'd be like Liam Neeson. I'd be like this action hero who would enact street vigilante justice on the thief. And now my moment had come. I had caught this guy red-handed. So I rushed over to him and I said in my best angry, scary dad voice, "Get away from my bicycle! What the hell are you doing? Screw you, that's my bike, motherfucker!" And I rush over to him and I think, okay, he's gonna run away, he's gonna freak out, he's gonna see that I caught him. But instead, he just stands there. He doesn't budge a muscle. He looks at me with like this dead look in his eyes, and I grab my seat back from him. He doesn't have any resistance. I grab the seat back, and I'm like, "Get the hell away from my bike!" And I think he's gonna run away, but he takes like 2 steps backwards, and then he stays there. And my whole fantasy that he would run away and be terrified is dissipating. He's just standing there and he's not going anywhere. I'm like, why is he still there? I caught him stealing my shit. And then he looks at me and he points at my feet and he says, "Hey man, can I get my stuff?" And I look down and I'm standing by this plastic bag and he's not running away because that's his shit and it's by my feet. And I see it and I get more and more angry because like, he was not respecting my property, and now I have to respect his property. So I go, "Screw your shit," and I kick his bag into the street. And he looks at me and says, "Why'd you do that, man? You didn't have to do that. That's my stuff." And I'm like, "I just kicked it. It's right there. At least I didn't try to take your stuff like you did with me. At least I'm not a thief." And he goes, "What'd you call me?" I said, "I called you a thief because you're a thief." And he's like, "Don't call me that." And suddenly my Liam Neeson action fantasy has devolved into an Edward Albee absurdist play where language has no meaning. Up means down, left means right. We are through the looking glass. And I said, "I'm calling you a thief because you're a thief." And he says, "That's it. Now we're going to fight. I'm going to kick your ass. You can't call me that." And suddenly I'm a little less blustery and a little more terrified. And I take my phone out and I say, "I don't want to fight, okay? But when the cops get here, they can decide whether or not you're a thief." And I dial the 911, and this guy's still screaming at me. And I get the cops on the line, and I say, "Yes, I caught this guy stealing my stuff." You can hear him right now screaming in the background. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and black jeans and white sneakers. And finally, he sees that I'm getting the cops. I said, "The cops are coming," and he starts to back away, and he starts to walk up the street. And he's about half a block away, and I'm getting a little cocky now because I won. I got him to leave. So as he's walking away, I take it a little too far, and I scream after him, "That's right, you better run, thief." And then he turns around and goes, "What'd you say? I told you not to say that. Now we're going to fight." And I've done it again. I've kicked the hornet's nest, and he's walking back towards me with the blood in his eyes. And I'm like, "Oh, shit, I should have let it go. what's wrong with me? I should have just like kept my mouth shut, and now I can't avoid this fight. He's coming for me. But luckily, Deus Ex Machina, or Deus Ex Bouncer in this case, the bouncer from the Broadway bar sees the guy coming back to me, and he walks over next to me, and he just kind of stands there silently. He doesn't say anything, but the thief now sees that it's 2 against 1, so he's still screaming at me, but then he backs away and starts to leave. And as he's walking away, he stops at Two Boots Pizza up the street, and he grabs one of their metal stools from outdoors, and he throws it into the street. And I want to say, why'd you do that? Why'd you hurt their stuff? But now I'm keeping my mouth shut. And the employee from Two Boots Pizza comes out all hurt and confused, and he's like looking at the stool in the street like, why did he do that? And I look at him and I'm like, sorry, it's my fault. And the thief, you know, he goes around the corner and leaves, and I have to wait for the cops. I have to wait 12 minutes for the cops, even though their police headquarters is 4 blocks away. But I wait, and the bouncer waits with me, and the bouncer says that he saw this guy go up to my bike, but he assumed that because the guy was so calm and relaxed with going through my stuff, that he assumed that that was his stuff. So a little tip to all you thieves out there: if you're going to steal something, don't rush and try to hurry. Just go really slow and relax and chill out, and people will not see any red flags. So finally, the cops arrive. I describe the guy to them, and I hope that they can catch him. Like, you know, he went that way, and I pray that they catch him, because I don't want someone else to carry that chip on my shoulder and have the same experience of catching your thief and not really having any good closure out of it. Thank you, Busted.
Busted Los Angeles, true story.